Hi students, welcome to Order School e-learning classes. How are you? I hope you all are fine. Today the lesson going on 10th class social studies 3rd chapter production and employment. Production and employment. Production mean produce something. Production mean the manufacturing process and other industries where goods produced by people with the help of machines. Employment mean people to do some work is called employment. After I will tell in my continuation lesson. Now we discuss about sectors of economy. Sectors of economy. Students, people are engaged in different activities and their livelihoods. Some people doing job, some people doing agriculture, some people doing business, some people doing real estate. Children, these are people engaged in different activities earning their livelihoods. That is called occupational structure. People are engaged in different activities. That activity is called occupational structure. The occupational structure divided into three categories. The occupational structure divided into three categories. The first one, primary sector. The second one, secondary sector. The third one, tertiary sector. The first one, primary sector. The second one, secondary sector. The third one, tertiary sector. The first one, primary sector. The primary sector also called agriculture sector. The primary sector also called agricultural sector. In this sector, and agriculture allied activities, forestry, fishing, mining, these are come under this sector. Where the nature has a dominant role in the production process. Nature has a dominant role in the production process in especially agriculture. That's why our Indian government in 1951 period, the first 5-year plan given to priority agriculture. The first 5-year plan priority given to agriculture sector. Next, the second one, secondary sector. Secondary sector also called industrial sector. Secondary sector also called industrial sector. In industrial sector, the manufacturing process, the other industries where goods are produced by the people with the help of machines. Large scale industries, medium scale industries, small industries or tiny scale industries or cottage industries are come under this sector. That's why this second 5-year plan priority given to industrial sector. On that time, the big industries are established. Rourkela, Durgapur, Bhilai. These are priority given to especially in industrial sector. The third one, tertiary sector. Tertiary sector also called service sector. Tertiary sector also called service sector. In service sector, do not produce goods directly, but they provide services. Don't produce goods directly, but provide services to all people. That is the tertiary sector or the service sector. Are you understood, children? Once I repeat it again, people are engaged in different activities and their livelihood. That is called occupational structure. That occupational structure divided into three categories. The first one, primary sector. The primary sector also called agriculture sector. In agriculture sector consists of forestry, fishing, mining and allied activities are come under this sector. The second one, industrial sector or secondary sector. The manufacturing process in the other industries, the goods produced by the people with the help of tools and machines. Large scale industries, small scale industries, tiny scale industries and cottage industries all are come under this sector. That's why the second 5-year plan given priority given to industrial sector, I mean secondary sector. Next, the third one, tertiary sector. The tertiary sector also called service sector. This service sector do not produce directly goods but provide services to all people. That is the occupational structure. Here given one table as your textbook, you see tailor, basket weaver, flower cultivator, milk vendor, fisherman, priest, courier, workers in match factory, money lender, gardener, porter, beekeeper, astronaut and call center employee. Students, in public examination oriented, the examiner given one table, classify the different sectors. These sectors belongs to which sectors? First of all, tailor. Tailor belongs to service sector. Second one, basket weaver. Basket weaver mean industrial sector. Why? Because that is one of the weaving of baskets. That is one of the small scale industry. That's why the basket weaver is industrial sector. Next, the third one, flower cultivator. Flower cultivator. Cultivation mean agriculture. Cultivation mean agriculture. That's why the flower cultivator belongs to primary sector. Primary sector or agriculture sector. Next, the milk vendor. Milk vendor come under service sector. Why? Because they taken from milk cows, buffaloes and to provide to all people, distribution of to different peoples. That is the one of the service. So the milk vendor mean he milks through the distribution of different house to house and door delivery. That's why milk vendor also service oriented. Service sector. The next one, fisherman. Fisherman belongs to agriculture sector. Agriculture sector or primary sector. Why? Because the agriculture sector consists of agriculture, forestry, mining, fishing also. The nature has dominant role in production process. That's why the fishermen also primary sector. Next, the priest. Priest in temple areas. He was given to blessings. That's why he is the service sector. Next, courier. Courier also service sector. Next, the workers in match factory. Workers in match factory. Match factory mean small scale industries, large scale industries, tiny scale industries, and cottage industries also come under this industrial sector or secondary sector. That's why the workers in match factory come under secondary sector. Next one, money lender. Money lender also service sector. Next, gardener. Gardener mean plant cultivator. That's why he belongs to agriculture sector. Next, porter. Porter which sector? The porter also agriculture sector. Beekeeper. Beekeeper is a belongs to industrial sector. Why? Because they collecting to honey and the cultivation of the silkworm. Silk industry. Beekeeper is belongs to silk industry. That's why the beekeeper is a belongs to industrial sector. Next, astronaut. Astronaut is a service sector. Next, call center employee. Call center employee also service sector. This is the classified of different categories in our sectors of economy. Here, the percentage of workers employed in different sectors in India in 1972 to 73 period to 2009 to 2010. The percentage of workers employed in different sectors in India in 2 financial years. The first one, 1972 to 73 period and 2009 to 2010. Here, agriculture sector in 72 period in 74% people. Agriculture depend upon 74% people. In 2009 period, 53%. In industrial sector, in 1970 to 73 period, 11% only. In 2009 to 10 period, 22%. In service sector, in 1972 to 73 period, 15%. In 2009 to 2010, 25%. This is the percentage of workers employed in different sectors in our India in 1972 to 73 period to 2009 to 2010. Okay, children. Why is the major changes in this table? What is the changes? What is the major changes? You observe in agriculture sector 74% in 72 period and 2010 period 53%. This is the 74, 53 decreased. Agriculture sector falling in drastically. You see second sector, industrial sector depends upon 11% people in 72 period. You observe in 2010, 22% double, increased in double. 72 period 11%, 2009 to 10, 22%, double increasing. Next, service sector in 1972 period 15% only. In 2010 period 25%. Children, you observe except agriculture sector in remaining industrial sector and service sector increasing. Why fall down in agriculture sector drastically. They have no work in agriculture field and no providing employment opportunities. That's why so many people shifted to industries and service sectors from agriculture. This is the sectors of economy. After sectors of economy, we discuss about gross domestic product. Gross domestic product. What is gross domestic product? Are you anytime watching news channel? Did you interest? Yes, we watching news channel at that time. Our financial minister of India, some sectors was developed, some sectors was underdeveloped. The GDP figures were not impressive. Did you listen? Yes, I will tell you. The gross domestic product mean the total value of goods and services produced in the country. The total values of goods and services produced in the country in particular time span. That is called financial year. Financial year means April to March. Here one example given you. April 2009 to March 2010. This is the financial year. The GDP is especially the indicator of income for the country. Indicator of the income for the country. For example, how we judgment rich or poor we compare. Example, there are two families. One family is rich family, whereas another family is a poor family. How can we make such judgment as the based on rich or poor? The based on the dress they are wearing, the vehicles they are travel. Yes or no? Food, what that they eat. Houses, what housing they live in. These are indication of the rich or poor. As like the difference between developed country or developing country, as like that one. So the GDP mean the total value of goods and services in the country. Denote in this value, this is a technical term GDP. Denote in this value gross domestic product. Gross domestic product. Now, how do you estimate GDP? How do you calculate GDP? Now I will tell you another example. Here one farmer, first here stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 given. The stage 1, sale of paddy by farmer to rice mill owner. Here one farmer is there. He is cultivating paddy. His sale of paddy to rice mill owner, each one case 25 rupees. Each one case 25 per kg. So the 100 kilograms of paddy selling. So the total amount of the first stage 2500. The total amount in the first stage 2500. Let me repeat it again once. The stage 1, here one farmer is here. The farmer agriculture is farming the paddy. His sale of paddy 100 kilograms of paddy, each 1 kilo 25 per kg. The total amount of 2500. This is the stage 1. The second one, sale of rice and husk by rice mill owner to hotelier. sale of the first stage is paddy and transformed into second stage, separate rice and separate husk. 80 kgs of rice, 20 kgs of husk. The 80 kgs of rice, each 1 kg 40 rupees. The 20 kgs of husk, each one 20. The total amount in the second stage 3,600 rupees. You know, the second stage, sale of rice and husk. Sale of rice and husk by a rice mill owner to hotelier. He got amount 3,600. The total value of second stage money is 3,600. The last one, stage 3. The hotelier making idli, dosa, is sale of making idli, dosa and something hotel items. He get from money 5,000. He using husk by fuel. The hotelier using husk is fuel. The hotelier get amount is 5,000 rupees. Here stage 1, sale of paddy by farmer to rice mill owner 2,500. Second stage, sale of rice and husk by rice mill owner to hotelier 3,600. The stage 3, sale of idli, dosa, this amount 5,000. Here stage 1 2,500, stage 2 3,600 and stage 3 5,000. Different stages, different amount is there. But now to calculate it like that, our GDP, what you get the total amount value is called GDP, gross domestic product. Okay children, you know how do you estimate GDP? Don't calculate the each one stage. Here once, listen, the stage 1 paddy, stage 3 idli, dosa. Stage 1 paddy, stage 3 idli, dosa. This stage 1 paddy is intermediary good. The stage 3 idli, dosa mean final good. Intermediate good is paddy. The final good is idli, dosa. The intermediate good mean, what is intermediate good? The intermediate good mean not ready to consumption. Not ready to consumption material is called intermediary good. What is final good? The final good mean ready to use, ready to consumption. That goods is called final goods or finished goods. Here paddy is intermediary good, idli and dosa final good. That is the difference between intermediary good and final good.